everyone. Hello. Happy Wednesday, guys. Welcome back to another PE Weekly Live show. Really happy to have you guys here. Say hi as you join. We have a lot of new members here in our community, guys. Welcome. We're happy to have you here. Say hello. If you are tuning into the replay, give me hashtag replay, give me hashtag live if you're here live. And say hello. We'd love to have two-way communication and chat with you guys. Really excited to be back here, guys, on Wednesday with you for our PE Live show. We do this every week. Want to talk today about why your content isn't converting, and I'm really excited to talk about this. And I know I say I'm always excited, but I typically am always excited to be here with you guys. I'm not lying about that. So let's talk about why your content isn't converting. So there's two things that I typically see. We're going to get right down to it. There's two things that I typically see that creates maybe crickets. Some of you guys describe as crickets with your content. Some of you say I'm creating a lot of content and it's not really converting. So a couple things that I see, and then we're going to get into some good stuff here. Number one, with your content, your sign over the door is not clear. Your sign over the door. That is one of the things that I see a lot in the industry is that your sign over the door is not clear. So what do I mean by your sign over the door? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Your sign over the door is like when you go to your local grocery store and above the sign, it says your local grocery store. Or when you go down the street to your favorite hair salon, it says your favorite local hair salon, right? Like, you know what it is. You know exactly what it is. You know exactly where to find the place. You know what you're getting when you walk in. You know exactly how your service is going to be. You know how you're going to be treated. Like, you already know, like, this is my favorite place to go for X, right? This is my favorite pizza shop. This is my favorite hair salon. This is my favorite grocery store. Like, the sign over the door is very clear. You're not looking at it saying, wait a minute, is this a grocery store? Is this a hair salon? Like, wait a minute, what am I getting here? What is this place? I'm not sure, right? You don't go down the street and say, I have no idea what that place is. I don't know, right? If you do, the sign over the door is not clear. So a lot of times when we are attracting audiences, leads, and we're getting in front of audiences and we're bringing new people into our personal Facebook, our Instagram, a lot of times that sign over the door isn't clear. Meaning that when we look at it, we're like, wait, what do you do? Who do you help? How can you help me? I'm not sure, right? And maybe we have a little idea, but we're not clear. Right? So does anyone feel like this? Like, number one, does anyone feel like, oops, maybe if you go to my Instagram or Facebook profile, it might not be clear what I do specifically? Or has anyone here felt like you've gone to someone's profile before, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook, and you were like, it's not clear what you do. I'm not sure. Hi, Sheridan. Let me know if you guys have ever felt like that, or if you feel like maybe your sign over the door is not super clear. Okay, that is a thing, guys. So number one, some of your content might not be converted, not because your content's not good, not because you're not putting out the right stuff. We're going to talk about that in a minute. You might be, but if your sign over the door isn't clear, guys, your people are not going to keep scrolling to read your content. So you might be pumping and busting out content on your page, in your group, on your profile, on your gram. You might be busting content out everywhere and be like, I don't get it. Why is it not converting? Why are people not booking, clicking, engaging, liking, hearting, commenting? Like, why is this stuff not happening? And here's the thing. The sign over the door may not be clear. Okay? And guys, that plays a huge part in the type of people you attract into your audience, right? So number one, sign over the door has to be clear, right? Mine says I'm a sales ninja. I help coaches and VAs. I'm very clear. Like, if you go to my Facebook profile right now, my little I help statement, my little bio, it tells you exactly what I do, who I help, how I help you. In 5 seconds or less, you know what I do. 5 seconds or less of visited my Facebook profile or my Instagram. In 5 seconds or less, you will know who I am, what I do, how I help you, and if it's something you want to know more about. In 5 seconds or less, I guarantee it, guaranteed, okay? You will know exactly what I do in 5 seconds or less, guaranteed. Now, when I look at profiles, and believe me, if you're in my community, I look at your profile because I love to learn about you guys, and we look at your profile before we let you in our group. So we have looked at your profiles, and a lot of them Not all of them, a lot of them, it's not clear. When I look at it, I'm like, I don't know 100% what you do, or I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means. And so I'm like, and I move on. I move on. Your people move on, right? If I scroll your newsfeed and I don't know what you're doing, I don't know who you are, I don't know what your passion is, I don't know what you're about, I'm gone. I'm moving on. I'm not going to keep scrolling to try to figure it out, right? So sign over the door. Sign over the door needs to be clear. You have 5 seconds. I think in the industry, it's 7 seconds. I always tell my clients you have 5 seconds or less to get their attention. In 5 seconds, if they hit your profile, they hit your Instagram, and they cannot tell who you are, what you do, how you help them, then they're not going to keep scrolling and they're going to leave your page. You're going to lose clients, period. Right? You're not going to get a bunch of clients if your Facebook or your Instagram or your profile doesn't have a clear sign over the door. Okay? No one has time to try to figure you out, right? So we have to be very, very clear. A nice, clear, simple, concise sign over the door. Okay? That is the first problem. So now you guys can all write that down. You have a little homework. Do I have a clear sign over the door? Right? And I would love if you guys drop your profiles below after you go put a nice clear sign over the door and say, Anne, I put my clear sign over the door. What do you think? I would love to give you feedback and check it out. Okay? And I will do that. All right. The second thing that I see is that you don't have enough people in your audience. So some of you might be saying, nope, my sign over the door is clear. I'm very specific about who I work with. I'm very clear. My profiles are optimized. Absolutely. I'm putting out awesome content. It's very much in alignment with the people. I'm very clear on those things. Sometimes you just don't have enough people in your audience. You don't have the numbers to reach the sales. This is so common, it would make your head spin. It's crazy how common this is. Many of the people that come to me saying, I need to increase my sales, I need to increase my conversions, I need to make more money, I don't know what my gap is. I'm going to tell you that 98% of the people that come to me and say that, you don't have a big enough audience. You don't have enough humans in your audience that are engaged, that are primed, that are educated on what you do, that are activated and interested in what you do, that you, no matter how much content you push out, doesn't matter how much amazing content you create and you share and you post and you put out and you schedule and all of that, your pretty images in Canva, like all of the effort you're putting in to your content and being consistent and showing up like that, it's not making a difference. It doesn't matter because you don't have enough people in your audience to create the sales that you're trying to create. This I see constantly. I see this all the time. We look at your audience, we look at your numbers, we look at engagement, we look at the health. We look at the health of your audience, and the numbers aren't there. You're trying to make a certain amount of money and you don't have the numbers to make that happen. And instead of growing your audience and getting into conversations with people to get them activated, you push more content out. You think that content is the king. Content is king. Content is king. Guys, content is king only and when you have conversations, human connection, and an audience. Otherwise, your content is just being seen by you, right? Or maybe a couple of fans. Maybe you and a couple of your fans in your audience see it, right? For the most part, it's not getting seen by nearly enough people for you to create the conversions and the sales that you're trying to create. Okay, so content is only king when you have connections, human connection with people, conversations with people. That's when your content will convert for you. But if you don't have those people and you don't have a connection with them and you don't build no rapport and you don't spend time getting to know them and talk to them, they're not even reading your content. They don't care what your content is. So therefore, content isn't doing anything for you, right? How many of you can relate to this? You're like, oh my God, okay. That makes sense to me. I feel like that could be a thing going on in my business right now, right? And it totally could be. It probably is. That you don't have any conversations is king, guys. Human connection is king. Two-way relationship with your audience, that's king. Content comes after that. So if you don't have that with your audience, guess what? They're not reading your content because you haven't taken 5 seconds to even get in a conversation with them and get to know your people. So some people think if I just fill my group with a bunch of people, if I just add a whole bunch of friends on Facebook, I'll have all the numbers to make the sales. But guess what? People buy from people, period. People buy from people. If you do not build relationship and rapport with your people, they're not reading your content, right? They're not looking at your content. They don't care what you have to say. They're not interested. They're not giving you their time because you haven't given 5 seconds of your time to build rapport, to have two-way conversation, a little human connection, and to get in conversation and get to know your people. You can't fill a group with hundreds and thousands of people and be like, oh, they'll read my content just because they hear. They read your content and give you their time like that because you've given them your time and you've got to know them and you've welcomed them and you've built a connection with them and you spent a few minutes getting into conversation with them. That's when they'll read your content. That's when your content begins to convert for you. Your content's not going to convert from you or for you if you can't take 5 seconds to talk to your people and get to know them, build rapport and conversation. You're basically talking to a dead audience. You're basically throwing content to people that don't care what you have to say because you haven't given them 5 seconds of your time, right? So content is only king when you couple that with conversation, two-way human connection, get to know your people, build that rapport with them. Then your content does all the heavy lifting for you, all of it. Your content can do all of the heavy lifting for you. It can convert your audience. It can have your audience coming to you in the DMs saying, I want to work with you. I have my card right now. How do I sign up? That can happen when you first put content, when you first put connection, conversation to a human connection first and then content. Some of you are just thinking, I'll just create more and more and more and more and more content and eventually people will buy. People are not going to buy. People are going to buy because people buy from people. So if you don't connect with your audience and you don't get to know your audience and you don't give a few seconds of your time to build that human connection, they're not looking at your content. So therefore, you're putting content out to nobody. You're just putting it out into the sphere and it's just dead, right? No one is reading it. Content is not going to do the selling for you if you don't build connection and relationship with the audience you're spewing that content to, right? Okay. So no matter how many pieces of content that you guys put up, no matter how much content you create, no matter how amazing your Canva images are or your brand photos, whatever, if you don't have enough engaged leads in your audience, then they cannot see the solution in your content because they're not reading your content, right? This is exactly true if you feel like no one is reading my stuff, no one is commenting, nobody's engaging, no one's clicking, nobody's buying. Okay, your people are like crickets then. You don't have enough and they're not engaged, which means the health of your audience is pretty low. And or you don't have enough people. So you need enough people, but you need those people engaged. Otherwise, they're not reading your content that you're putting out. So it doesn't matter how much content you create, okay? So once you start working with clients, this is where your content begins to become a creative extension of you, of the work that you do. Because at this point, once you start working with some clients, you begin to learn your client's language. You really start to uncover what is really the problem that your clients are having, what is really the challenge that they're having, the priority, the urgency for them. And you get that language and you start to learn who your people are. You start to identify who you want to work with, who you don't, and what the things are that are going on in their lives that they care about, that they want you to talk about, that they want you to educate them on, that they want you to be training them on and going live about, right? If you don't talk to your audience and you don't work with any clients, you literally are creating content on a whim. You're literally just being like, I don't know, let me talk about this. Let me talk about this. Let me talk about this. And you're literally just putting content out for the sake of putting content out. And you're not putting out content that is actually the stuff that your people are there for, that they want to hear and need to hear from you, right? If your audience is not hearing from you what they need and want to hear from you, they're not going to engage in your content, right? One of the best things to do is listen with your clients. Listen to what they're saying to you. Listen to the language. Listen to the things they're telling you. I want this. I need this. I'm struggling with this. I don't know how to do this, right? Those are the things that you should be creating in your content, talking about, teaching about, giving tips on, asking them to share more about that. The only way you're really going to uncover this and have your content converting for you doing all the heavy lifting, is to get in those conversations with your people. Get in the DMs, get in the conversations one by one with your people and ask them, what are you struggling with? What do you want? What do you need? How can I help you? How can I serve you? How can I make a difference for you today? Guys, this brings us back to basic principle of like just human interaction. We've been doing this since we were babies. We have been telling people what we want. We have been telling people what we need since the day we were born. We know how to do this. You know how to do this, right? You need to get in those conversations and you need to ask those questions so that you can create content around those things. Because here's the thing, what you think your audience wants from you is not what they're thinking. It's not what they're going to bed up all night about. It's not what they're asking for. It's not the things that they're thinking in their head. And the way that you describe it is not the way they're describing it. Why? Because we work very close to our work, right? We're nose to nose to the work that we do. We are very close to it. Our audience is not. They could care less about our work. Honestly, they do not care about our work. They care about themselves. We are very selfish in the sense of we care about what we want and what we need and how we're going to get what we're going to get out of it. We care about ourselves. We do not care about your results. We don't care about your success, your awesomeness. We don't care about your program. We don't care. And so a lot of the times we work so closely to our work that when we go live and we talk marketing and we talk strategy and tips and business, the way that you're talking about it is not the way your clients are talking about it. It's not what they're thinking. It's not what they want. It doesn't make sense. And this creates a disconnect because now they feel like what you're talking about is not what they need, even if it is, because you're not doing it. You're not talking about it the way they think about it. Okay. The only way you're going to change that is going to be getting into conversations with your audience. I will tell you right now, everyone that joins our Facebook group, we get into conversation with them. We ask you, we get in the DMs with you, we tag you, and we get in the DMs and we ask you, tell me more about what you said on your entry question. You said you were struggling to get clients. Tell me more about that. What do you mean by that? What does that look like for you? How can we serve you? How can we help you today? Tell us a little bit more. We literally are connecting with everyone. It takes us time to get to everybody, but we literally are connecting with everyone. If 80% of you go to your DMs right now, you'll probably see a message from us sitting there, unless you came in the group like yesterday or today. But if you go look, you probably have a DM from us hidden in your other DM folder that you haven't seen yet, where we reached out and welcomed you to the community and asked you a question or asked you some additional questions to get to know you, to understand more about what content can we create for you. I have a bunch of free resources on sales, organic lead generation, marketing, social media, social selling. What do you need from me today? How can I help you? How can I serve you? I have resources for you, right? Tell me what you need so I can make sure I give you the right thing. I go live every week. What do you need to hear from me? What do you want me to talk about? What would help you? What would make a difference for you, right? I have a podcast every week. What would make a difference for you? What would you love me to talk about? What would really change the game for you? That's the stuff that we're asking our audience. And then what we're doing is creating content using that language and on exactly what they just asked us for. We are not spending 5 hours trying to think about what we think we should talk about, right? Because it's not going to work, guys. That's not going to convert. Your content is not going to get seen on a big enough scale to create conversions consistently if that's what you're doing, okay? So let's talk about what I want you guys to do instead. Let's talk about the 4 core pieces that I'm going to recommend that you focus on and that you create in your group, on your profiles, in your social media. You can use it for your emails, your sales pages. I don't care how you use it. Your content in general should cover these 4 things, should be incorporated in these 4 things. And then what you'll do is you'll couple these 4 things with the information and data that you get from every single person you connect with. Every human that joins your Facebook group, every person who likes and adds you as a friend on Facebook, and every person you connect with over on Instagram, you should be getting in the DMs and having a genuine conversation with them where you're getting data, you're getting information, and you are learning more about them and what they need because they're only there for their own needs. They're not there to watch your amazing lives. They're not there to see how awesome you are at your business. They're not there to see how cool you are and what you've created in your life. They're literally there for their own selfish reasons. They are there to get what they want. And if you don't provide it, they're going to the next Facebook group or the next Instagram account or the next Facebook. You either provide it for them or they will get it from your competitor, right? That's how we have to look at this. If you're not giving it to them, they will go get it from somebody else, which is usually your competitor. So if you don't want that to happen, then you got to buckle down, roll your sleeves up, get in those conversations with your people and get this information so you can turn around and use this in your content. And then I want you to couple it with these 4 things. Number 1, educate. Write these down, guys. This is what I want you to do. For those of you that love to spend 20 hours a week creating content, let's trim it down to about 2 hours or 45 minutes a week. Let's trim it down to 45 minutes a week, and let's add this in there. Number 1 is educate. Okay, so you should have a post every single week that goes out. It's a how-to post. It is a educating your audience on what you do, and that gets them into action, right? This positions you as an expert. It gives value at the same time, but it gets your people into action. Here's what I'm going to tell you right now. If you pump out content that is information over implementation, that's your number 1 problem. When you put out a piece of content, we have to slow down on information because people have too much, right? I just told my clients on a call yesterday, everything that you say, teach, do, whatever, when you are just given information, we can find that for free anywhere today. Information that we used to have to pay thousands of dollars for is now free on Google, in a PDF download, on a webinar, on a challenge, on the weekly lives that everybody's doing. Everything that all the information you're funneling out, we could get that for free somewhere else. We don't need it. We do not need more information. We don't want it. We don't need it. It's not serving us, right? There's a thing called information overload, right? Your information is not valuable when I can Google it for free or get it from your competitor for free in a PDF that she gave for free, right? Like as a download. What we need to do is get people into action. You've got to create content that is a how-to piece. Every week, it's a how-to. And this educates them on your methodology, on your way, right? So for me, how to increase your sales conversions or your sales consultations up to 80% starting with your next sales call, right? I could say that could be one of my tips. How to increase your sales consultations up to 80% starting with your next conversion. How to get in the DMs with your Facebook group without being sleazy and salesy and get them to convert. How to organically grow your audience by 300 people in 3 weeks without pitching, without stealing members of other people's groups, without being a douche about it, right? Those are how-tos. But notice that I brought in how to, and then you insert what your client wants. You insert the thing that you do. So you're educating your audience on how you help them and what you do as it relates to what they want, right? That's a how-to piece. That happens every week in my social space. Number 2, inspire. Create a piece of content each week. And this is where we talk about your personal story. We call this story snippet. It's not your novel. It's not a book. It's just a little snippet of your personal story that is vulnerable. It's real. It's genuine. It's authentic. Nobody else can write it. It's yours. It is your personal life experience and story. Nobody else can take that from you. No one else in the world has created that piece of content. Just you, because nobody else can take your life experience and story and create it. So it is an authentic, completely genuine, raw piece of material that only you and the whole wide world have ever created in that way, right? This is that vulnerability. This is that emotional connection that your audience has to have with you to pull out a credit card and buy from you. They need that emotional connection with you. There's no other way to get it other than for you to be vulnerable and share that story. Little snippets of your story, right? And you want to tie that into what you do and how it relates to your clients. That's what you want to do. You want to tie that in, right? And so this is something that you should be doing each week because this inspires people, right? This inspires people to say, wow, if you could do that, if you can overcome that and you could get where you are, I feel like I can too. It inspires. It's not meant to sell anybody. It's meant to inspire them. People need to be inspired. They don't need more information. We need to be inspired. We need to be elevated. We need to see what is possible for us. Is it possible? Prove it. How is it possible for me? Right? Your people need that inspiration. They need you to share content like that. That people buy from people. I cannot say that enough. People are not buying from you because you're awesome. They're not buying from you because your program sales page looked stellar. They are not buying from you because you have 50 testimonials. They're not buying from you because you need to pay your mortgage. They're not buying from you because of you. They're buying from you because people buy from people and they have an emotional connection with who you are, why you do what you do, and they want to be in your space and they believe that you can help them. If your content is not creating this kind of connection, that's why it's not converting, and it's not going to. Okay, you will always have to create a lot of content in order to get one single sale, right? I create 4 pieces of content per week. That's it. I spend less than 45 minutes a week on content. Yet I close 100% of over $10,000 worth of sales every single day, week, month inside of my DMs, right? Like our program is at over a $10,000 investment, and we've never had to have a sales call ever in our lives for that program. We've put over 50 people in it this year. Every one of those 50 people happened inside our DM. How is that happening? Right? That happens because of the content we create and the relationship that we build with our audience. It does all of that for us. We don't have to pump out 500 pieces of content. We don't need to spend 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 hours a week creating content. We don't need to create a lot of content. What we need to do is focus less on the content and more on the connection. Okay? All right, the third piece of content is the engage content. So engaging, what you want to be doing is creating a piece of content. We actually have a daily prompt that goes out inside of our group, right? Inside of the Simplify the Scale Facebook group, right? Depending on where you're tuning into this, we have a daily prompt that goes out. It is not selling to you. It's not asking you to buy anything. It's not asking you to do anything other than communicate with one another. Communicate with each other. We have collaboration week. We have a collaboration post. We have a promotion post where you guys get to promote. We have a collaboration where you guys get to say, who are you hiring? Who are you looking for? What do you need help with? We have a social media post where you guys get to drop your Instagram accounts or your Facebook, connect with each other, right? We have a goal post. Hey, what are your goals this week? We're on a brand new week. What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to be held accountable for? We have posts that go out that create engagement amongst our community members. This not only boosts algorithm and engagement inside of your group, but it creates community and co-creation, guys. If you don't bring in community, co-creation, and collaboration into your business, into your online spaces, into your content, into your relationship with your people, you just have kind of a dead group. The thing that keeps people in a group and engaging is co-creation, collaboration, and community. It's that sense of belonging where everyone is contributing. And if you don't bring that in, your group will not be a group that people want to spend their days in. Okay? So we need to create that two-way human connection. None of this stuff is about, none of these 3 first things I've shared with you, the educate, inspire, or engage, has anything to do with them buying your stuff. This is about creating the psychological mental state that needs to be there for someone to buy. Okay? All right. And then the fourth type of content is that activate. Now, this is where you get to sell. This is where you get to create a piece of content, include some of the educate, inspire, and engage, include a little bit of that into it, and you extend an invitation for people to come and work with you, for people to come and talk to you about working together, about how you can help them ABC, insert the thing that they want, right? Now, you could see how this would not work if you don't know what your clients want. If you don't know what your audience wants, what they're willing to pay for, what they're willing to invest in, then this probably wouldn't be very helpful, right? So it probably wouldn't work. You need to know that by getting in the conversation. But this is the type of content where you extend an invitation. So what I teach my clients in my PE program, in my cold to close program, is give, 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 ask. Give 3 pieces of valuable content. This can be in one post or one piece of content, or you can spread it out over 3 different pieces of content. But give, 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 and then ask. It's kind of following Gary Vee's jab, 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 right hook, right? We're following that process of give value, and then ask. If all you ever do is ask from your audience and you're never given, you got to give way more than you ask. Let's just put it that way. And if you're not doing that, your content's not going to convert. You got to give, then ask. Okay, so I have a rule of thumb with my clients and in my program, or in my company, we give 3 tips, 3 pieces of value, 3 nuggets, 3 something of value before we ever ask for anything. Okay, whether it's an email or we spread it out through some different social media posts, we give 3 pieces of beautiful value steps, some sort of thing for them, and then we ask. Okay, then we extend that invitation. Okay, so if you're under $10,000 a month, like if your business is not creating $10,000 a month consistently, you really shouldn't be doing anything outside of these 4 pieces of content and then getting into conversation. Hi, Juanita. Getting into conversation with your people. Okay, if you're earning under $10,000 a month, that's what my recommendation is for you. I'm giving you your answer. I'm giving you your next step. I'm telling you what you should do. I'm telling you what I would do if I had to start all over today, right? If I had to start all over to get to those $10,000 a month, I would not be doing anything outside of those 4 content buckets I just shared with you, and then getting into direct conversations with every single person who joins my Facebook group, every single person that I connect with as a friend on Facebook, every person I connect with on Instagram that I say, yes, follow back. Every single person that I let into my online space, I directly get into a conversation with them. Hey, how's it going? Thanks so much for connecting. Would love to learn more about, how you said you were struggling to get clients. What does that mean for you? I have lots of resources. How can I serve you today? How can I help you? I'm here to help you. Hopefully we can solve this. That is what my sales team and I do. 90% of our day is getting into conversations and creating content around these 4 buckets as it relates and correlates to what our people are telling us in our conversations. We do these in the DMs about 90% of the time, but we also create social posts, as we showed you, that also allow us to get that data. And we email our list, right? So we email them to get this information. And sometimes we'll book 15-minute connection calls where we'll say, hey, you're in our Facebook group community. We would love to get to know you better. We'd love to hop on a 15-minute call, just talk about what's going on in your business, what are your goals, and if we have some resources to help you, and we'll make sure you walk away with clarity on your next steps, period. Like, that's what we do, right? These are different ways to get into different types of conversation. Everybody's different. Some of your people are going to want to get on the phone with you to answer these questions. Some will do it right in the DM. Some love to reply to emails. Everybody's different. Some like to just post it in the group. Some don't want to post anything in your group. So you might have to invite them to a private call. You might have to get in the DMs with them. Everybody's different. You've got to get out there and figure it out. Find out how your people like to learn and connect and communicate with you. Meet them where they're at. Give them what they need. Ask them, what do you need from me? How can I help you today? How can I be of service? What can I do to support you today? What do you need from me today? Right? What can I do to help you? That is a question we ask every day to our members. What can I do to help you? And that gets a conversation going. It gives us the information we need to provide content and value that is going to help you and meet you where you're at and give you the things that you are here for. Versus spending 15 hours every week trying to figure it out and hope and guess and wing it and throw a bunch of content out there that nobody cares about, right? It doesn't make sense to waste time like that. So if you're not making $10,000 a month every single month, clockwork, rinse, repeat, it's so predictable. These are the only things that you should be doing. 90% of your life right now in your business should be getting into those direct conversations with people, having those conversations, getting that information, and then putting out the content, the 4 pieces we just talked about, bring in all of that data in that they just gave to you, that you just got from those conversations, into those 4 pieces. That is all you need to do. And you could be making $20,000+ a month on rinse, repeat, very predictable, every single month in your business. And you don't have to get on sales calls to do any of it unless you want to. Okay? There's a million ways to Sunday for you guys to be closing sales every single day. There's no right or wrong. But what I'm going to tell you is there's no point in putting out content if it does not have those 4 buckets and if it is not exactly what your people have told you they want. You literally are playing Russian roulette with every piece of content that you put out that you're winging it, you're guessing, you just kind of did it to do it. Every piece of content that you put out is playing Russian roulette with your livelihood and with your impact, right? If you do not go to the source and get the data and get the information, okay? So here's the thing, guys. This should massively free up your time. I literally just told you exactly what you need to go do. Down to your content pieces, right? Down to exactly how to get into conversations with people, what to focus on in those conversations. Like I just gave it to you right here and showed you 10, 20K months, guys, can happen like this. You could get in a conversation with 10 people today and close a $5,000 or $10,000 client today in your DMs. I know because we do it and my clients are doing it every single day. It's that simple. Now, it could take a little bit of time for some of you to build some momentum, but this is what you guys can be doing, okay? And this is what you should be doing. If you are not creating $10,000 a month every single month, this is all you should be doing. The solution for you in making more money is not to put out more content. That is not the solution here. And that's where I say content is not necessarily the king. Okay? Human connection, conversation, co-creation, collaboration, that's the king. Okay? And then when you do that and you have that, the content just does the converting for you. It does all the heavy lifting, right? Because you've already built the foundation. The foundation is your people. It's a human connection. That's your foundation. Everything you layer on top of that is just icing on the cake. Okay? Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, so if you have not signed up, guys, for Cold to Close, what are you waiting for? Everything we just talked about here, we're going to help you set up in your business. Okay, we have a few more spots. It's a live 6-month program, so we're not going to bring in a whole bunch of people. It's going to be a small group of us. It's all live. And what we're doing is we are showing you how to take your leads from cold to close in 10 days or less. We are showing you how to set up a sales qualification process that's going to give you up to 80% conversion on your consults. If you're doing consults, we will show you how to host and convert your calls up to that 80% if you are doing consultation calls. We will show you how to have a proper sales mindset, and we'll do a money block makeover. So we're going to make sure that we remove the barriers, we remove those things that are getting in your way of being able to confidently do the things we're talking about here today consistently to create the results and the success and sales that you want. You have to understand sales psychology, how your buyer is thinking when you approach them with an invitation. If you don't understand that, you'll never be able to work through helping guide them to a decision, and you'll keep getting objection after objection after objection. Okay. And you're losing clients that are probably really good clients because of that. We will also help you get your leads re-engaged if they're crickets, as you guys have called them. We'll help you get your leads re-engaged and get them primed and prepped to invest. You don't need to be convincing and begging and chasing and negotiating and lowering your prices to get people to invest. There's other ways to do it that are more authentic and that feel better. We want to get your people to get to that point on their own. And we're going to show you how to do that. Help you create your content plan with those buckets we talked about. So you have a nice day by day concrete plan of what you're doing, what you're creating as it relates to your people. That alone, guys, is going to help boost your engagement. We're also going to show you how to have organic audience growth. So we talk a lot about organic lead generation. We're going to show you how do you grow your audience organically? How do you set up an organic lead generation system that has qualified leads coming in who are already ready to learn more about working with you. They're ready to invest. We are going to show you how do you close in the DMs? How do you get in the DMs and close, right? How do you do that with high ticket offers, low ticket, all the offers, right? We close offers over $10,000 in the DMs without a single sales conversation. We never get on the phone. We just put 50 people this year through our 12-month program that is over $10,000, and we did not have one single sales consultation. It all happened in the DM, or people just went to our sales page and purchased without ever talking to us. How is that happening? We're going to show you exactly how to do that and build that momentum inside of this program in your business. We are also going to help you create your offers because you need an offer. You need good offers. You need sexy offers. You need offers you're in love with. They need to be irresistible. They need to literally be the things that your clients are like, yes, I need that. I'm buying that. You're speaking to me right now. I'm in. Like pulling out their card, ready to go. So we need to set those up. We're going to help you do that. And of course, all things sales, all things marketing, all things mindset. Guys, this is literally one of the best programs that you could invest in if you need help with sales. Sales in the DM, sales on the conversations, or your sales team, whatever it is, all things sales, guys, organic lead gen and sales. If that is something that you know that you're struggling with and that you need to fix before 2021, we're going to show you how to do that in this program. We will touch on other things like I just said, but this is a sales program. It's a high ticket sales program. It's going to help you convert beyond anything that anyone else can help you do. I know sales in a way that nobody else does. This is why David Nagel had me do sales for him. This is why Kimmer Luna had me do sales for her. This is why I've been on these high level campaigns, closing $20,000, $30,000+ sales right on the phone, guys. The reason is this process. I know how to high ticket sell. I can help you sell whatever it is that you sell. You just need to get in the program so that I can help you. So we're going to focus on sales. We're going to focus on all of that, the organic lead gen, putting your sales process in place, getting your content house in order so that it is coupled with the sales activities so you are converting and closing. We will help you with all of that, okay? And we will bust whatever it is that you have coming up around sales and money and all of that stuff, okay? Because we're just going to get that out of the way. We'll clean that house. Okay, I'm going to drop the link in the comments for you guys. We'll put it above in the thread as well if you'd like to go check out that sales page. I'm going to tell you right now, it's a live program. It's only $400 a month. You get instant access to me. We get working right away. On a cash injection. And I'm going to tell you this right now. It's never going to be this price again. It's a beta program. It's not going to be live in the new year when we run this again, and the price will be increased. So this is the best time to get in. And why would you not want 10, 20+ K months right now, starting now before the end of 2020, already come in as recurring revenue as you head into 2021 with a sales system house in order, okay? And in the next 3 to 4-ish weeks, we are going to be helping you guys grow your list, your Facebook group and your list by 300 people organically. So this is definitely the program if you need more clients, if you need more leads, if you need more sales. This is the program, guys, okay? So we'll put the link below. We'll drop it up above here. Check it out, okay? Again, it's only $400 a month, and you're going to be making $10,000 to $20,000 a month. So it's well worth the investment to do this. And if you guys have questions, let us know. DM me if you have any other questions. We have about probably 3 or 4 more spots in this program, and then we're going to close it up for the year. So definitely now would be the time to jump in there if this is something that is speaking to you, that you need. We would love to be the ones to help and support you. Guys, I'll see you here next Wednesday. Have a good day.